and welcome to Entertainment Review Season 3. My name's Dylan Miner.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Courtney.
And we're here to entertain you, hopefully.
I'm very happy to be back for Season 3, Episode 1. Hope everyone had a good summer. This episode we are going to be talking about movies, TVs, video games, the usual we talked about last semester, but we do have some fun segments that we're going to add in throughout the year.
I mean, apparently there was something called the Emmys happening.
Yes, very exciting. So Eric and I will be talking about that sometime at the end of the show.
But we're also going to cover what happened over the summer and things we're looking forward to this year.
So sit back, relax, and stay tuned.
All right, summer blockbusters. This summer was really big, I feel, with all the Marvel movies, the Disney movies, the Pixar movies. I feel that there was a lot of exciting things, and then there was the Adam Sandler movie that we don't want to talk about ever.
No.
Well, we just will avoid that one at all costs.
All right, so what movies did you guys see over the summer that, what was the one movie you saw that was really wow for you?
I actually didn't see that many movies this summer, but I did watch Trainwreck. I have to say, Woman Crush Wednesday, Amy Schumer for the win.
Basically.
It wasn't what I expected it to be.
No.
Not really, I really didn't expect it to be so much romantic comedy. I expected it to be more of not so much raw, more calm. But after I saw it twice, so after seeing it the second time, I definitely liked it a lot better just because I knew what I was getting myself into. But Woman Crush Wednesday, she wins.
Yeah, definitely Trainwreck was a big standout for me. I wasn't expecting it to make me feel so existentially wrong.
Yeah.
I got out of that movie and I thought, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an interesting social commentary because I feel like this is one of the first female-led romantic comedies where she's just a train wreck.
Yeah, and I felt like I shouldn't identify with her as much as I did.
Yeah.
But I feel like it definitely addressed, usually it's the girl who's I want him, he doesn't want me. And
exactly.
It kind of gave you that, 21st century spin where it's not every girl wants to be married and have kids by the time she's 28.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
But go ahead, Dylan.
I think, I saw a bit about Trainwreck. I enjoyed it, and I think, it's really showing how Amy Schumer is, she's a very good actor.
Oh, she's a great actress.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
I feel
especially in the emotional scenes.
Part of the tradition of actors comedians who you wouldn't think would be good actors, all the people from National Lampoon movies. Yeah. And then they actually make really good movies. Yeah. But I feel Trainwreck is really good difference from Hugh Grant romantic comedies are that's the stereotypical romantic comedy.
Exactly, and it was nice. It was a refreshing change.
Yeah, I feel Trainwreck might be the start of a trend of more, not modern, but more approachable.
Realistic.
Yeah, realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, we all understand that we're all nuts. Let's just work off of that basis and make fun of ourselves.
And it's nice that Hollywood is finally acknowledging it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I feel like in a lot of romantic comedies, the issue in a couple always is with the man. The man is the one that always wants to go out. The man is the one that doesn't want to commit. But here it's literally flipped. Bill Hader's character, he wants an actual relationship with Amy, and he wants the stability. And Amy's more kind of I'm just doing my thing, and I'm gonna go out and get really drunk and have fun. And so it's interesting to see that dynamic flip. And I think it's a really fun way to watch. But another movie that really stood out for me was Disney Pixar's Inside Out. Oh my God. It was literally a life-changing experience.
The way you described it to me was that it was not a children's movie.
No.
It was a movie that identified with the introverts.
Yes.
But the 20-something introverts.
Oh,
so yeah, it was a cartoon, but it didn't really work for children.
I saw Inside Out right as it came out because it was one of my most anticipated movies. It had some of my favorite people in it: Amy Poehler, Mindy Kaling, Bill Hader. Great cast, amazing story. I feel like it's a great movie because it really shows how emotions work. And it's hard to kind of explain it if you haven't seen it, but it's just a beautiful story. And I was sitting there watching it, and I'm like, man, I didn't know that I paid $8 for a therapy session. But that's what it felt like. And afterwards, I was like, wow, I feel so much better. Just I didn't know I was sad, but now I am. But it's okay.
Well, that was probably the cheapest therapy session you'll ever get.
Honestly,
so
yeah. So
don't take it for granted.
If you're on a budget, just watch Inside Out a bunch of times.
I feel the marketing really failed that movie.
A bit,
like,
yeah.
When I saw, I'm like, oh, this is just going to be. I love Pixar movies, but I just saw, oh, this is going to be a kids-oriented Pixar movie. So I never picked it up. And then summer starts, and I just hear Courtney start raving about it, like it's the next big thing.
Oh,
I think to myself,
gorgeous.
maybe they did a really bad job with the marketing.
I think it's a hard movie to market because it's really hard for me to explain. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it because I feel like you cannot explain the plot without spoiling the film, which I don't want to be that person. No one wants to be that person. So basically the gist is it's about an 11-year-old girl who goes through a lot of extreme life changes in a short amount of time, and it shows the voices in her head, her emotions, like joy, anger, disgust, fear, and it shows how they all kind of go against each other to work. And it's really good. The animation's beautiful, the story's great, and check it out. This is free advertising, Pixar, so...
Please love us, Pixar.
Yeah. And I feel like the other big movie that came out at the beginning of the summer, and we sort of covered it a little bit, was the Avengers movie.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was good.
But I feel that out of the 2 Marvel movies that came out, Ant-Man was so far superior. I like the Avengers, and I think we all had fun with it, those who saw it. Not
Sorry, I just started getting into it. Give me time. I've watched them all. The only one I have not watched is the one that the Avengers that just came out.
Courtney, you saw both of them.
I did not see Ant-Man yet, actually, which is sad because Paul Rudd is one of my favorite actors ever.
Why?
He's just great. I don't know. We'll have a Paul Rudd special later in this semester. Avengers: Age of Ultron was one of my, if you remember from last year, I basically had a heart attack talking about how excited I was for it. It was a little disappointing. It felt very like, I realized this summer that Marvel movies all follow the exact same format. And Avengers: Age of Ultron was like one of the biggest examples of that. Also, Black Widow's role was extremely diminished and disappointing, and it was kind of a fail, in my opinion, writing-wise and just everything. Yeah. So, yeah. Like,
I feel like Disney's having this weird issue of like having great female leads and then Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like Black Widow's a nice character, but she's a sex symbol.
They could do so much with Black Widow. Right now. They should do what they did with Peggy Carter to Black Widow. I'm serious.
It would be great, but she's not going to get that kind of treatment until there's a Wonder Woman movie. Until.
Okay, I think that's all we have for our movie segment, so stay tuned for our next couple segments.
For TV and such. Yes. Lots of movies and TV.
Yeah.
All right. We had a very interesting segment about movies, and then we're going to be talking about TV shows, either stuff that came out during the summertime, stuff that's happening right now, or future TV shows for the fall, winter segments. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Most of it's trash, but there's a few new stuff.
Okay, well, I don't think that most of it's trash, but I'm a huge fan of ABC Thursday nights where you have Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder, so I'm very excited for this Thursday. I'll probably be sitting on the couch for 3 hours straight, so if you're looking for me, that's where I'll be. Just like, I guess, a rundown. Scandal left on such a cliffhanger. I'm really excited to see where that kind of starts. I'm currently re-binge watching all of Scandal, so it's kind of nice for me to be like, okay, I know exactly what's happening and when it happened. With Grey's Anatomy, I am sort of nervous for this season. I think that Ellen can carry the show completely by herself. She is a very, very strong female lead, very talented, but I'm very nervous that people will stop watching because Derek's not on it.
Yeah, I'm worried about Grey's Anatomy is a little bit of a guilty pleasure. I pick it up every once in a while. And
it worries me because there's so many talented people on it, and the writing is phenomenal, and I don't know, I recently rewatched everything again, but I'm worried that it's not going to get, sorry, my voice cracked. I'm worried that it's not going to get the support that it's had because...
Derek sold that show.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't watch Grey's Anatomy. I don't like medical shows, but I mean, it's everywhere. And I remember a lot of the advertising and marketing over the past 11, 12 years relied on Patrick Dempsey, like McDreamy, and then the other guy, McSteamy, like
dead.
Which is kind of sad because you have this great cast of women characters, like men, and it's like, why can't everyone carry the show?
Ellen Pompeo even said it herself. She's like, no one gives the lead of Scandal any problems or the lead of How to Get Away with Murder any problems. So why am I getting so much problem? Like, why am I getting the problems that they're not getting?
Because there's this one or two characters that made it. Scrubs. Remember Scrubs when
Scrubs is a great show.
well, remember
There's still eye candy on that show, let me tell you, but
when JD when JD left, like Scrubs had great actors, tons of cast, tons of story. The actor who played JD, I forget his. Yeah, he's doing water commercials now. If you ever really want to see how to not have a successful career after a hit show, look at him. But yeah, he wanted to leave Scrubs, so that's why they ended it.
Yeah.
And then it died.
Yeah.
So like Scrubs, I feel is a good example of what happens if one of the important leads leaves, even if there's a great cast to support it.
Well, I feel like they're going to try even harder now to keep the same viewers or even get new ones because this summer, I just like the marketing team has had Ellen like talking about how she doesn't need a man. And I mean, you shouldn't need a man to run a show.
No.
I don't know. I'm really excited to see where my Thursday nights with ABC end up.
Yeah, last night I watched the premiere of Scream Queens, which is a show that has been heavily promoted and talked about this summer. It's from the guys who did Glee and they do American Horror Story. I went into it with was like, all right, let's just watch this. It's like a play on horror movies. It's about a sorority house that is terrorized by a serial killer. But literally, like, everyone in Hollywood is in it. Jamie Lee Curtis, Emma Roberts, Niecy Nash, Nick Jonas. So it boasts this huge cast, but I think the problem is the huge cast. I think they relied heavily on, look, we've got Nick Jonas and we got Jamie Lee Curtis. Where's the story?
So what do you say? Did you see Galvant?
I did not see Galvant.
Okay, I wanted to like Galvant. It had all these big name actors in it, and it was supposed to be this tongue-in-cheek fantasy thing making. There were 1 or 2 scenes where I died laughing, but for the most part, it just like you have all these big names and all this money going into this.
Yeah, pretty much.
What I feel for that show, I didn't watch it, but I read up a lot about it just because I was really interested because they had everyone in Hollywood
who's
in it. Yeah,
it was a favorite project.
But they did say that they're going to kill off a character each episode. So I feel like they're going to kill everyone off, and then it's just going to be the people that, like, there'll still be major Hollywood names, but they just did it to kind of, okay, well, I like Nick Jonas, I like Emma Roberts.
Ariana Grande's in it.
Yeah, they did it just to have, like, to draw those viewers in, and then they're going to fall in love with the storyline. I mean, it's great marketing, but like you said, you had all these great...
I think it was too many major players. I feel like they relied heavily on, oh, here's Nick Jonas, let's put him in a scene because we know girls are going to watch this. Or boys, whatever. So yeah, Scream Queens was weird. I feel like they also were like trying to be like, we're edgy, we're different, we're going to make jokes about pumpkin spice lattes, which if you've been on the internet for the past 3 years,
everyone makes jokes about pumpkin spice
lattes.
So
Scream Queens I'll probably still watch, but it's not going to be a favorite of mine.
I had hopes for that.
Yeah, maybe it will get better. But, I mean, the premiere was okay. It wasn't terrible, but... Speaking
about American Horror, though, new American Horror season, Hotel or Motel, it's going to be terrifying. Last year we had the weird carny stuff. Year before that we had the weird witch stuff. Then the asylum stuff, and then the haunted house. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just fun to watch. Even if you don't like spooky things, it's just an enjoyable experience.
The only thing I care about is Lady Gaga. That is it.
That's a good thing to care about. I appreciate that.
Yeah, American Horror Story is one of those shows that I'm always like, oh God, why is this still on TV? But I watch it anyway because
it has lots of good actors in it.
Yeah, it has good actors in it.
That's a show that I not watched, but that's mainly because I'm scared of my own shadow.
Oh yeah.
So if I were to watch it, I'd literally watch it with behind my hands, and I'd have to know what's going to happen before it happens. So there's just really, it's a lot of work would go into it. Yeah. I'd need to have like a therapist on speed dial just to make sure I can get through the night. Yeah.
Viewers at home, do you want to see Erica watch American Horror? If yes, press like and say, Erica, please watch the scary things. We will live stream it. Come on, Erica. Come on. Yes. No.
I don't do
She's agreeing.
movies.
She's agreeing. That's agreeing.
No.
Well, I think that's...
I said no.
I think that's for TV for now, unless we want to.
It's going to be a very exciting week because everything is returning, so we'll definitely have more information and more opinions. Because if you have not watched this show before, we will have opinions even on things we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So, like most of the American population, but we will get right back at you.
Erica's definitely going to do the live streaming. We promise you this.
Empire, right?
Not yet.
Transparent?
No.
Ray Donovan.
Downton Abbey?
Girls?
The Americans.
Bloodline? How sensitive.
So you think you can
Big Bang
dance?
Theory?
Kimmy Schmidt?
The Leftovers?
And we're back with a little bit of an Emmy segment. I didn't watch them live, but I know that you did. So if you have any live moments that you would like to talk about.
I really enjoyed Andy Samberg as a host. I've always loved Andy Samberg on SNL and just everything he does. He was a great host. He's very charismatic. And he had a great opening intro where basically it was a video segment where he tried to watch every show that exists. He had a whole musical number about how hard it is to keep up with TV, and it really hit home because there are so many shows nowadays. And now that I'm older, there are shows that were on when I was younger that I couldn't watch that now I want to watch, but it's like,
when do you have time?
when do I have time to do this? So that was really cool. One of my favorite moments was finally seeing one of my favorite actors, John Hamm, win for the role of Don Draper on Mad Men. Mad Men is one of my favorite shows. John Hamm is incredible on it. Check it out. It's on Netflix.
Just that character is so iconic that in 50 years from now, you're going to be comparing other actors to him.
No, Don Draper will be around forever. He has been iconic.
Deserved it. I mean, like you said, 6 years ago he should have gotten it. He finally got it now.
Yeah, I think
very proud and well earned.
Breaking Bad ended. Like last year was the last round for Breaking Bad at awards seasons. So it was like, bye Bryan Cranston. Finally we're gonna give it to John. Yeah, he's just incredible. And I think he's just a really cool person. He's funny. All right, I'm not going, again, we will have a John Hamm show later in the season.
And then another moment that really struck a chord with me was Viola Davis winning.
Yes, oh my God.
Her speech, I mean, if you have not been on any sort of form of social media in the past 2 days, you've seen it.
Yeah,
but
I watched it in real time and I cried.
It was very inspiring because everything she said was true, and she said it in such a way that it was just so eloquent.
Yes, it was.
And it needed to be heard
and
that capacity.
She had such raw emotion with it too. Like the combination of the emotion, her words, and just the message it sent was awesome.
And she was completely true in what she was saying.
So
she wasn't trying to point fingers at anyone, but it was just something that needed to be said at that time.
I think a big theme of the Emmys was like everyone just said what had to be said.
Yes.
Andy Samberg had a lot of jokes that dealt with a lot of current issues. He had a Kim Davis joke that was really funny. Things like that. And I think that's something we need from award shows because celebrities are people that they have so much influence.
I do have to give it to Andy Samberg. This is the first time in history that the Emmys actually ended on time.
Yeah.
So congratulations, round of applause for you.
Good job, Andy.
And like we said before, there's a lot of great shows that are coming out and that are starting this week, and the Emmys is kind of what starts fall TV.
Yes.
So thank you, Emmys, for happening because I'm really excited for my shows to come back.
Yes,
and that's all we have on our Emmy segment.
We'll see you next week.
Hello and welcome to the video game segment. As you can see behind me, we're lacking the green screen today. Hopefully we'll have it back in the next few episodes, but today we work with what we got. This summer for video games, nothing really happened. This September for video games, Metal Gear Solid 5 happened. If you're not playing it already, I'm surprised. If you haven't heard about it, also surprised. It's Konami's and Kojima's last Metal Gear Solid game together. Kojima got fired from Konami. There was some fired or laid off. There was some very weird political stuff going on. But the end result is he's not going to be working on any Metal Gear Solid games anymore after that. As far as the game goes, it's been pretty successful. Everybody who plays it loves it generally. There's some minor bugs that shouldn't be bothering you, but I'd wait to buy it if you haven't bought it yet to make sure that they're fixed. Other than that, it's the ending of the Metal Gear Solid cycle. Like, it completes the entire story arc for Big Boss, the Metal Gears, why he turned into a villain, and all that stuff. So I think I would need like 30 shows to actually explain the plot of Metal Gear, so I'm not going to do that here. There's Wikipedia for you. Gameplay-wise, it's open world, sandboxy, completely different than the normal Metal Gear games. There's a base building elements, you build troops, and it's just a complete cluster of different game designs and genres and story elements to make a very interesting game that generally succeeds at what it tries to do. But that's about it for video game news. There really else wasn't much. There's stuff coming out in the following months, but there's not much information about that. Other than that, then that's it. Thank you guys for watching the video game segment, and I guess this is going to be the outro for the show, unless the people in front in front of me do it. Thanks for watching our show, and season 3 starts. I'm going to walk off the screen.